Hey, my fam. Thank you for tuning in. It is Monday. We are back on Plug Talk, and I am going to give you my recap on the Oscars from yesterday evening. Sorry for the lighting. Sorry for the wiggly hand. I don't have this on my tripod. I hope you guys had a very, very good weekend. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on what I thought was a very appropriate and deserving Oscar night. I'll give you the bullet points that stood out to me. Before we get started, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And when I say that, that means it is time to plug in. Let's dive in. My, oh my, what an evening last night was. It was the Oscars, finally. The culmination, the cap, the closure on the 2019 movie season and award season. It was an incredible night. I am satisfied with the choices that were made. Obviously, the biggest standout for me was Brad Pitt winning Best Supporting Actor for his role as Cliff Booth in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Brad Pitt's in his mid-50s. He's been acting since 1987. He's been an A-lister for like 30 years. He's been nominated 4 times as an actor. He does have an Oscar already, but as a producer for 12 Years a Slave. Another great flick. Brad Pitt has finally gotten his acting Oscar, and I am just so thrilled for the dude. This helps cement his legacy as one of the greatest actors of all time, which I do believe. As well as another standout to me was Parasite. I have yet to see Parasite yet. It's a Korean film. I guess the plot is wild. I guess it's such a creative and inventive plot. You can really not predict what's going to come next, and it makes you wonder how anyone could think of an idea like this and a story such as this. Bong Joon-ho is the director. He helped write it as well. I guess, this dude's made quite a few good movies, some of the highest grossing Korean movies of all time. I'm going to put this one on my list. It won Best Picture, which is the biggest award at the Oscars. It's like the last award they give out. Parasite also was recognized for Best Director. So Bong Joon-ho won Best Director over a very crowded group of well-esteemed directors. Quentin Tarantino was in there. Martin Scorsese. Sam Mendes for 1917. Todd Phillips for Joker. He probably won for a reason. So I'm going to check that movie out. I was very happy for Renee Zellweger winning Best Actress Award. She already has a Supporting Actress Award for her role in Cold Mountain with Jude Law, Nicole Kidman. If you haven't seen that movie, man, that's a really good movie. Renee Zellweger kind of made a comeback, man. She was really off the map here for a while. She was an A-lister, as you guys know, in the early mid-2000s. Not really sure what she went through. Can't really speak on that, but she did have some plastic surgery mishaps. She came back and played Judy Garland, man, and she looked like her. Haven't seen the whole flick, but man, from the clips that I saw, it looked perfect for her, man. It looks like she really embodied that character and all the emotion that must have been boiling up inside of Judy Garland, if you guys are familiar with her story. And then you have Laura Dern winning Best Supporting Actress, which is really neat. She was kind of due to win one, so her role in Marriage Story was just the perfect platter for her to go ahead and finally get that Oscar win, which was neat. And then, man, the Best Actor Award, it was kind of, a shoo-in. I feel like everyone knew who was going to win it. It was a crowded nomination room, so you have Leonardo DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Then you had Adam Driver. You guys maybe remember him from Star Wars. He was in Marriage Story. He was nominated. Antonio Banderas was nominated as well. And I think also I am missing someone. Oh, it was a gentleman from The Two Popes, a movie that I am not familiar with at all. everyone thought Joaquin Phoenix was going to win for Joker, and he certainly did. He swept the whole award season, as did Brad Pitt. So you can kind of do a little bit of predicting based on certain awards, institutions, on how they vote the winner. You can predict a little bit on how the Oscars are going to sway. It's not foolproof. It's not 100%, congruent, but most of the time you can kind of get an idea. Joaquin Phoenix, he cleaned house all season long. Very, very deserving, man. He's an incredible actor, dude. He's a different dude, but you cannot deny how he gets into a role. Man, he gets up in that thing and wears it like a Snuggie. It's crazy, dude. I just saw Joker last night. I watched like the first half before I went to the gym and did my thing. Came back, watched the Oscars, and then I finished the second half. So I was kind of bookending the Oscars with the Joker movie. That movie is bonkers. If you guys haven't seen it, please, please watch it. It's dark, not a comedy, not Jared Leto, Suicide Squad, definitely not like a Batman superhero story, but definitely, definitely worth your 2 hours. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Taxi Driver, old school Scorsese movie starring Robert De Niro, one of his best roles ever. Harkens back to that a little bit. You're just going to have to watch it to find out, man. But I think of all these awards, they all seem deserving. It didn't seem like it was anything was bought politically, because a lot in the budget of these movies is the money they're shelling out to all these dinners and these endorsement parties and trying to win over the Academy. I think there's over 100 Academy members, so you got to win them all over. Sadly, versus just winning based off of what's on the screen and what you put in front of the camera. All of these ones were deserving in my eyes, so I'm glad that it wasn't tainted. The Irishman, very surprised, the movie by Martin Scorsese. I'm very surprised that movie didn't win anything. But that just tells you how crowded this year was. There were so many good movies this year, man. There really, really were. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, they only won 2. I was bummed out that Quentin Tarantino didn't win anything himself, but Brad Pitt won for the movie Best Supporting Actor, and then they won for the production and set design, which, if you saw that movie, man, they turned Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood back to 1960s. That's something that, directors and film crews are not allowed to do anymore because of the budget. The fact that movie was released in July, so the fact that it still has momentum coming all the way into February really shows how good a movie is. You can tell if a movie's trying to do big in the Oscars because it'll come out in the fall. So it has a little bit of momentum. There's a little bit of recency bias there. I'm kind of going on a tangent. So my review of the Oscars is very, very high. It's always a little bit long, They just drag it out. I understand there's like 24 different awards they got to give out, and I'm totally here for all of it. You got to award the soundtrack. You got to award the short films, the documentary. All that stuff deserves, a spotlight. But, man, maybe less performances. I don't know. I wish they could get away with the commercials. But overall, as far as how they handed out the trophies, I thought it was appropriate. And I will leave it at that. All right, folks, so there's your Oscar recap for you. I hope you guys all had a great start to your week. I'm going to catch you guys all on Wednesday, on Hump Day. Until then, guys, please like this video. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button. Please subscribe to my channel as well. I will be posting content every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Share this video as well if you got any movie buff friends. It's always fun to talk about the movies, man. It's one of my favorite topics. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Ultimately, it is up to you if you do or not. All right, guys, we're going to plug out. I'll see you all soon. Thank you for watching. Love you all. Deuces!